Until these fundamental issues are resolved, I will not proceed under any assumption that this court has lawful jurisdiction over me. To do otherwise would be to waive my inherent rights, which I do not consent to. I stand firmly on my right to due process, equal protection, and the supremacy of constitutional law. The burden is on the prosecution and the court to establish jurisdiction before any further action can lawfully take place.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel. No one is above the law. Today, we are back for the second appearance for the sovereign citizen by the name of Zachary Paige. If you have not seen his first appearance, no worries. It will be in this video along with the commentary that I added to it on the first appearance. But this time he is back for trial. He did not want to take a plea, which most sovereign citizens don't. So he took this to trial. Here we are for the trial. So let's go ahead and see how Mr. Paige and all of his sovereign citizen ideologies plays out. Roll the footage.
All right, Mr. Paige, this is 242804, the City of Taylor versus Zachary Paige.
And good afternoon, Your Honor. For the record, Matthew Zick for the people.
Okay, and I have a note on here. The people are requesting the case be set for a jury trial, and the defendant wants to fire the MIDC attorney. Is that accurate? Mr. Paige, are you asking to represent yourself?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm representing myself.
Okay. Okay, you have a right to represent yourself, but I want to make sure you understand this, Mr. Paige. You have a right to do that, okay? But you understand that attorneys go to law school and they study the rules of evidence. And if a person who is not a lawyer wants to proceed in a case, they're held to the same standard. You have to play within the same rules as a lawyer when you represent yourself. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Paige, I want you to see this. This is the Michigan court rules. This book is the rules that govern how we do trials, how evidence is admitted, how questions are asked, how trials proceed. And I'm going to assume you've not studied that book. Do you understand that if you go to trial and you represent yourself, that you will be held to the same standard and will be required to comply with those rules?
I understand.
Okay, is there anything else you want to put on record?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
I, Zachary Paige, lowercase a-h-a-r-y, P-A-G-E, a living man and one of the people of the Constitutional Republic of Michigan, appearing today sui juris. I am here under special appearance and under duress to address this matter. I am the beneficiary of the trust established by the U.S. Constitution and the Michigan Constitution, which operate as trust agreements. Under these trust agreements, public officials act as trustees and are bound by their oaths of office to serve the people, the beneficiaries. Their primary duty is to uphold and protect the inherent and unalienable rights of the people as mandated by these constitutions.
Okay. All right, Mr. Paige.
I have more.
I know you can submit it in writing. I've heard it all before, sir. If you want to be a sovereign citizen today, that's fine with me. All right, but we're going to get through this court proceeding, and I want you to know you're going to behave at trial. You are bound by the laws of the state of Michigan, and that's how we'll be proceeding. So, sir, as to arraignment, how do you plead? You can plead guilty, you can plead not guilty, or you can stand mute.
Could you repeat the last part, please?
You could stand mute. That means you don't say anything and I enter a not guilty plea for you. So a guilty, not guilty, or stand mute.
I'm pleading not guilty to this.
Okay, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. Sorry, I have to go over a few things with you to make sure you understand them, okay? You're charged with interference with police authority. There is an allegation that on November 4th of 2024, while traveling southbound Telegraph near Brest Street in the city of Taylor, that you engaged in behavior that obstructed or interfered with police authority. That is the allegation against you. This is a misdemeanor. It is punishable maximum by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Sir, you have the right under the Constitution to have a trial by a jury and to have the assistance of an attorney. And you have a right to an attorney appointed at public expense if you are indigent, meaning you don't have the money to pay for an attorney. And if the offense requires a minimum jail sentence, there is no minimum jail sentence on this case, or the court determines it might sentence you to jail. It's my understanding that you have waived your right to a court-appointed attorney. You've already put that on record and you intend on representing yourself. You also have a right to a trial. And at that trial, you have the following rights: to call witnesses to speak for you at trial, and you can get an order signed by the court to require witnesses to come to court. You have a right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial, to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent. And if you chose not to be a witness on your own behalf, the prosecuting official may not comment on your refusal to testify. You also have a right to be presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Those are your rights under the United States and Michigan Constitution. Do you understand what I just read to you, sir?
Yeah.
I'm not asking if you agree. I'm asking if you understand. And is that a yes?
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, what else can we really say about this? Mr. Paige, he finally reaches the end of his first sovereign citizen attempt. You can tell, obviously, it wasn't polished. It felt rehearsed, but not understood. Judge Shackelford recognized it immediately and made it clear she has heard it all before. And if you know anything about Judge Shackelford, she does not play any games. As a matter of fact, we just aired one of her proceedings with the famous Eric Martin. And if she was able to shut him down, she's definitely going to be able to shut a first timer down. But the key takeaway here is this: you absolutely have the right to represent yourself, but you do not get to redefine the legal system while doing it. And that's what sometimes these sovereign citizens don't understand. He pled not guilty, so now the real test will come at trial. If we can track future appearances, which I think we do have a couple more appearances by Mr. Paige, we'll definitely follow that up and have it for you, because when sovereign citizen theories leave the script and enter this examination period, that's when reality really sets in. As always, guys, thank you for joining us for another proceeding. It's time to get up out of here. Keep your eyes open for the future appearances of Mr. Zachary Paige. We will definitely have those for you. And I'm out of here. And remember, guys, no one is above the law.
And we have a charge of speeding of 11 to 15 over. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Has an offer been made on that, Mr. Zach?
No discussions have, no discussions have been,
And we have a charge of speeding of 11 to, sorry, go ahead. No discussions
no
occurred?
discussions.
Would you like to have discussions with him regarding that civil infraction?
Yeah, I would like it dropped.
Okay. Well, I don't know that he's doing that, but he might offer you a reduced ticket with no points. I mean, I don't know that he will. I don't know what he'll offer you, but there could be a reduction. Do you want to discuss that possibility with Mr. Zach?
Yes, I'd like to.
Okay, I'll let the two of you discuss that.
Thank you.
And I did receive your filing. I'm reviewing it now.
Okay.
And so if that's what you're intending to put on record, it is officially part of the court file.
Okay.
So we don't need to do it orally because it's part of the file.
All right.
Okay? All right, I'll let you two talk and I'll see you back in just a few minutes.
Thank you.
All right, we're back on record. Were you two able to have discussions?
We had the discussion, Your Honor, but we're unable to reach a resolution.
Okay, so was an offer made?
Yes.
Okay, can you just tell me what the
Oh,
offer?
yes, Your Honor. The people offered to reduce the charge of speeding 11 to 15 over to a double pardon.
All right, and Mr. Page, you understand that's a civil infraction, has a fine of 165, but it doesn't have any points on your license.
Right,
Okay, and you've rejected that offer?
I have.
Okay, all right, so we're proceeding with our hearing then.
Thank you.
Mr. Page, is there something you wanna, if you're just going to read me a giant sovereign citizen objection to my jurisdiction, I'll give you 2 minutes to put whatever you want to put on record, and then we're proceeding with the hearing. Fair?
Don't I have the right to be heard lawfully?
Well, you have the right to ask questions to the witness
Okay.
and to, you know, make any arguments you want to the court.
Right. I
But
understand
as
that.
far as jurisdictional arguments, the court does have jurisdiction.
Okay, is this court operating in administrative or judicial law?
I'm not participating in this, sir.
Well, I would.
Well,
have
you
to- I
know,
would
this
have
is
to
a court
know.
of law.
I would have to know because there's no injured party in this case. So
There doesn't
if
have to be.
There does. In order to set bond against me, there has to be an injured party.
Okay. Anything else? I am operating under the laws of the state of Michigan and the Michigan Constitution. And that's the information that I'm willing to provide. And
Okay.
and I'm certain you're aware of that, sir. You've lived in the United States for your life.
And I'm also aware I have the right to freely travel at my own
Correct.
vehicle that I maintain and take care of. There was no injured party. I was not engaged in commerce or commercial activity.
Okay, well, they can get tickets too for speeding.
I'm protected under the Constitution. Speed limit's not law. The Constitution says that.
Actually,
The speed limit
The
is a statute,
state's-
code, and ordinance.
correct. Statute and ordinance, that's
Yeah.
correct.
So how could I be charged if we're operating under this type of law and no injured party? This-
Well, your
Fine.
federal right to travel under the or the federal constitution doesn't mean that you're not subject to regulatory. I mean, do we not have to get driver's licenses? Do we not have to get car insurance? Do we not have to follow basic speed laws? I mean, you can have a constitutional right with limits and, or regulatory provisions or statutory provisions. The right to drive is not written in the Constitution. The right to travel is.
Yeah, and that, I made that clear to the officer that I was traveling. I wasn't driving. I have that.
Were you in a
I have
car?
that on film too.
Sir, were you in a car?
Yes, I was.
All right, you were operating a motor vehicle. And were you in the city of Taylor?
Yes,
Okay. All right,
I wasn't operating a motor vehicle though. I was traveling freely down the road.
in a motor vehicle.
That I maintain and take care of myself. That's my property.
Okay. I understand that. That doesn't affect this. Okay, I mean, you were driving a car in the city of Taylor.
Uh-huh,
Yes, okay. And that's why we're here.
okay.
Okay.
Well, we saw the prosecutor and Mr. Page decide to go off record for a little bit and try to figure this thing out so they wouldn't have to go through this trial. But they could not come to a common resolution, and we probably all know why, because a little after, what does he start doing? He starts pulling the injured party thing. I wasn't driving. I was traveling freely down the highway. So I don't even know why he really wasted the prosecutor's time by going back and acting like he was going to be willing to take some type of plea deal.
Your Honor, people would waive opening at this time would be prepared to call their first witness when you're ready.
Okay, call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, we call Corporal Billy Schillenberg to the stand.
Okay, officer, if you can come on up to the witness stand. Raise your right hand when you get up here. You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay, have a seat. Mr. Zick, your witness.
Thank you. Corporal Schillenberg, can you state your name and badge number for the record?
Corporal Billy Schillenberg, badge number is 260.
And you're employed with the Taylor Police Department?
I am.
And what's your position with the police department?
My rank as a corporal and in the traffic bureau.
And Mr. Schoenberg, were you working back on November 4th of 2024 in the afternoon hours?
I was.
All right. I'm going to direct your attention back to that date and time. Can you describe to the court where you were approximately doing traffic detail on November 4th, 2024 at about 1:35 p.m. At that time?
On November 4th, 2024, at approximately 1:49 p.m. I had Corporal Schillinger was sitting stationary and
Sir, you can't read off your report. You can use it if you want to use it to refresh your memory. You're free to read it, but you can't just read the report into the record.
I, Corporal Schillinger, was sitting stationary, monitoring traffic on southbound Telegraph, south of Brust Road, when I observed a silver Ford Fusion traveling faster than vehicles around it, which time I activated my LIDAR device, which I am trained and certified to use in the state of Michigan. Pointed the LIDAR directly at the hood of Mr. Paige's vehicle and received a reading of 58 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone at 694.5 feet.
Wait, say that again, 58 miles per hour. Now, what was the speed limit there?
45.
And Corporal Schoenberg, this all occurred in the city of Taylor, County of Wayne, state of Michigan?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you indicated you're certified with the LIDAR device. Can you briefly explain how that works and what does it mean when you got a reading at 694.6 feet?
So the LIDAR device, in order to operate it, you have to go through a training class to be certified to use it. When you activate or turn on the LIDAR device, it has to go through a self-inspection, and it has to pass all of these self-inspections for it to work. On that particular day, I did my self-inspection of the device, powered it on, it did pass all tests. So the way the LIDAR works is when you point the LIDAR at the hood of the vehicle, it'll give you a speed reading and a feet reading. So the feet is the distance away from where the LIDAR is to the vehicle approaching my position.
And based on the reading that you received of 58 and you were monitoring a 45 mile an hour zone, what did you do next?
At that time, when I got the 58 and 45, when I got the 58 and 45, set my LIDAR device down. I maintained visual sight of the vehicle that I got the reading from. When Mr. Paige approached my patrol vehicle, so when I exited the parking lot, which I was sitting in.
Objection, I approached your vehicle.
All right. I think, can you just clarify when you
I
say?
never got out of my vehicle.
All right, well, let's let him clarify the answer. I took it to mean something
Sorry,
else.
Your
So
Honor.
no, you have a right to make an objection. Can you just have him clarify what he means by that?
Yes, Corporal Schoenberg, can you please clarify your last statement?
So I'm sitting on the west side of Telegraph Road, monitoring southbound traffic in a parking lot.
And that was the parking lot of Turbo Motors?
Yes.
At 12200 Telegraph?
Yes.
Okay.
So sitting stationary in that parking lot, when I got the reading of 58 and 45, Mr. Paige was 694.6 feet away from my vehicle. So as he passed my vehicle in his automobile, that's when I exited the parking lot, pulled behind his vehicle, activated my emergency lights, and initiated a traffic stop on his vehicle.
All right. And that traffic stop was initiated in the parking lot down the road at 12510 South Telegraph?
Yes, that would be the Enterprise.
What was it?
Enterprise?
Enterprise, okay.
And you maintained visual contact with the vehicle the entire time?
Yes.
All right. Did you at some point identify the driver of that 2020 Ford Fusion, silver in color?
I did.
All right. And just for purposes of the record, do you see that individual in the courtroom here today?
I did.
And describe what he's wearing.
Wearing a brown suit and black undershirt.
Your Honor, let the record reflect that he has identified the defendant, Zachary Paige, seated at counsel table.
The record shall so reflect.
Based on your reading and your observations, Corporal Schoenberg, did you then issue a citation to the defendant?
So while we were on the traffic stop, I asked Mr. Paige for his identification numerous times, which he refused to do so. I refused to do so. At that time, Sergeant Tish made my location. Mr. Page eventually ended up providing his driver's license to Sergeant Kish. At that time, I was able to issue him a citation for the speeding 11:15 hour.
And when you were observing traffic on southbound Telegraph from your location at Turbo Motors, did you have were you able to maintain a clear visual of the traffic and the defendant's vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I have no further questions this witness this time.
All right, Mr. Page, you have some questions for the witness? You're free to step to the podium just so the court recorder can take everything down.
No questions for the witness.
Okay. All right, your excuse, Corporal Kish, thank you.
People rested this time, Your Honor.
All right, do you have anything you want to enter into the record?
I want to enter into the record that I'm here today making special appearance under sue juris as one of the people of Michigan, not as a defendant under the jurisdiction of this court. I'm asserting my unalienable rights as secured by the Michigan Declaration of Rights under the United States Constitution, particularly under Article 1, Section 1 of the Michigan Constitution, which establishes all political power is inherent in the people. At that outset, I raise jurisdictional challenge to this court.
Your Honor, may I interrupt? And I apologize for interrupting, but Corporal Schoenberger is our traffic supervisor, and there's been an issue over the Taylor Police Department this morning. Technical difficulty.
He's free to go. Do you have any other questions for Corporal Schoenberger?
No.
All right, Corporal Schoenberger, you're excused.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead, sir.
This outset, I raise jurisdictional challenge to the court as jurisdiction must be proven on the record before any further proceedings can lawfully continue. The separation of powers doctrine, as outlined in Article 3, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution and the Michigan Constitution, makes it clear that no branch of government may exercise the powers of another. Before proceeding, I require clarification on whether this court is operating in a judicial capacity or administrative. If this court is acting under administrative directives or executive branch policies, rather than operating as a constitutionally recognized judicial body, then it is exceeding its lawful authority. No administrative agency, including the SOS, possesses lawful authority to direct judicial rulings or override the people's due process rights. Any attempt to enforce such directives constitutes an unconstitutional exercise of power, rendering these proceedings null and void ab initio. Furthermore, jurisdiction cannot be established by assumption, presumption, or coercion. Due process demands that I am provided with clear lawful authority establishing the legitimacy of this court's jurisdiction over me. An individual exercising my constitutionally protected right to travel. Without such proof, this court is proceeding without lawful authority and any ruling is issued a legal nullity. I now formally demand that this court place on the record the specific constitutional authority establishing jurisdiction over me as one of the people of Michigan, the legal basis that allows this court to act under administrative directives or executive policies without violating the separation of powers doctrine, proof that I was engaged in regulated commercial activity as no jurisdiction exists, absent clear evidence that I was operating as a licensee in commerce at the time of the alleged incident. Until these fundamental issues are resolved, I will not proceed under any assumption that this court has lawful jurisdiction over me. To do otherwise would be to waive my inherent rights, which I do not consent to. I stand firmly on my right to due process, equal protection, and the supremacy of constitutional law. The burden is on the prosecution and the court to establish jurisdiction before any further action can lawfully take place.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, I heard testimony today from Corporal Billy Schillingberg. Corporal Schillingberg testified he is works the traffic bureau at the city of Taylor, and that he was in that capacity, working in that capacity on November 4th of 2024 at 1:35 p.m. approximately. He testified that this occurred within the city of Taylor, within the state of Michigan. He testified that he was trained and certified to use LIDAR devices, and that the device had been inspected. He explained how the device is placed at the hood of the vehicle or aimed at the hood of the vehicle, and it determines the speed in feet from the LIDAR device. He testified that at the time, I can't recall the exact number, but he was approximately 600 feet away from the driver of the silver Ford Fusion, and that he was clocked at a speed of 58 in a 45-mile-hour zone. He testified as the vehicle came towards him and passed him, he put his device down and initiated a traffic stop. The stop ultimately occurred at 12510, which is on Telegraph Road, which is the business of Enterprise. Corporal Schillingberg also identified Mr. Paige as the driver of the motor vehicle, and his license was ultimately produced, and he was issued a traffic citation. The standard for these hearings is not beyond a reasonable doubt, and there was no questions to Officer Schillingberg that offered any contradictory testimony to the testimony that was issued in this case. Therefore, Mr. Paige, I find you responsible of the civil infraction of speeding 11 to 15 over, and that has a fine of $130. Mr. Paige, do you need time to pay?
I do.
Okay. How much? Can you pay in 30 days?
I mean, yeah, if I got on a payment plan.
All right. Well, would you rather pay something on a monthly basis? Can you pay $70 a month, $50 a month? Tell me what you
50 is good.
50 a month.
Yeah.
All right, they'll send you notice of the payment plan. Are you in Hidden Lane still?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Page, you'll receive notice of that in the mail.
Well, I don't think any of us are surprised at how this thing played out and what the judge's verdict ended up being. I mean, because we see the officer testify on how the whole interaction between he and Mr. Page went and what happens after the prosecutor is finished. Mr. Page gets an opportunity to cross-examine. He does not. Instead, he wants to get all of his sovereign citizen arguments on record. And for that reason, that was one of the reasons, not because of his sovereign citizen arguments being on the record, did the judge make the decision that she did, but he did not pose any type of objection or argument against what the officer was saying. So now he's stuck with paying this fine. It looks like he's going to do the payment arrangement thing, and this whole thing is over. But I hope that you guys enjoyed these two proceedings. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It will help the channel out. And until we get together again, guys, remember, no matter how long you get away with something, even if the court doesn't catch you, the police doesn't catch you, God is always watching. And for that reason, no one is above the law.